What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. We are headed out to go pick up our transaxle, and we got a line on a flatbed trailer. So I think I might be able to pick this trailer up for a good deal. I've never owned a flatbed trailer. I've always borrowed one, and you know, with race week coming up, if anything happens, you know, I'd rather it be my own. So I found a good deal on a flatbed. I'm going to go out there and pick it up, and at the same time, we're going to be picking up our transaxle for my Sand Limo. And that's the car we're taking on race week, so we can get the race week prep done for that car. And yeah, so you guys stick around. We're gonna go pick up that transaxle and see if we can't find a good deal on that trailer. It's dark out, so we're not going to quite make it there tonight, so we're going to grab a hotel. But in the meantime, anytime that we're east of California, we always got to stop at my favorite restaurant, and that's Rudys Country Kitchen and Barbecue, or Rudys BBQ, I think it's called. If you guys know about Rudys, then you know. If you don't, then you need to go check it out. It's the best barbecue that I've ever had in my life. I'm sure there's places that are better, and you guys will say, oh, this is better, that's better, but for me, Rudys is the place. So we're gonna go in and get some grub. All right, guys, so we're fat. We just ate at Rudys. It's always incredible every time we come here. So if you guys don't know, check them out. Rudys BBQ, man. You guys will not be disappointed. All right, we'll see you guys when we get out to the trailer. What's up, everybody? So it is the next morning. Got us a hotel room for the night and got some sleep. We're gonna head on over now and pick up that transaxle and take a look at that trailer. So you guys stick around, and we're gonna go check it out. All right, boys, so we're out here at the spot. We got the trailer, got the deal done, and got a smoking deal on this thing, way better than you can find one for in California. It's I think it's 18 feet, 16 feet. 16 feet with a little extension out front. So I'll probably end up taking this extension out here and moving it over so my tires will sit up here. But yeah, this is exactly what we needed. And like I told you guys earlier, I've never owned one before. I've just always had easy access to a car trailer. So now I got my own, and we won't have to worry about borrowing it from anybody else. So here we go, boys. We got the trailer, and we're gonna head on back to Cali. Wiring looks good. Looks like the axle bearings and stuff were just serviced. The tires are in great shape. So yeah, it's even got a little storage compartment down below here that somebody built. I don't know if it slides out or you just drop stuff in from down below, but yeah, all in all, a great trailer. And it's definitely going to serve its purpose for what we use it for. So you guys stick around and we'll head on home. So boys, I almost forgot. We also got our transaxle back. Turns out it was just a bad pinion bearing. So a quick little refresh. Didn't have to wait for any parts, but an updated bearing. So we're gonna be able to get our car ready for race week. So that's pretty awesome. So again, picked up this trailer. Got a really smoking deal on it. Like less than half of the price that a used trailer would be in Cali. So got her picked up. We're headed back to Cali, so we'll see you guys when we get back. All right, boys, so we're on our first stop. Got out to check out the trailer. Everything looks good. Tires look good. And, you know, my old faithful steed, you guys don't know about my truck yet, but I call her 6.0 no, because she never, never hesitates to disappoint. So it's an 03 F250 with a studded and bulletproof 6-liter in it. It's got a brand new turbo. It's got a different impeller wheel and an 03 exhaust housing. But like I said, she never hesitates to disappoint when you're on a road trip. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So I'll give you guys a couple of updates on what's been going on. So we got our transaxle back. Turned out it was just a bad pinion bearing. So the rebuild was, it was relatively inexpensive, but you know, it was a lot cheaper than I thought it was going to be. You know, when these transaxles go bad, you could be looking anywhere from $500 to $4,000 or $5,000. So ours was just a bad pinion bearing. They put an updated bearing in there, so we're good to go. So there she is. So we're going to get the motor pulled out and prep the back of this car and paint it so it matches the rest. A couple of years ago, we back half this car. Originally, my car had a bus, VW bus transmission down there. So we cut the back clip off and set it up for a Mendiola. We got another one down there for a customer's car. So it shouldn't take too long. We should be able to put this thing back together in a day or so. I am still nursing a shoulder injury, so you know, progress has been kind of slow. Not much for updates. Although we did a little late night shopping on Marketplace and came across this thing. This is like a 2008 Sand Limo. Probably like the model is a limo, I believe. I'll have to ask Joe Fab about it. Picked this up doing a little late night shopping on Marketplace. I got the arms. There's one of my power steering units. I got the front and rear arms, the spindles, and the tie rods, and got a smoking deal on it. So we're gonna take this thing out to Sand Limo in Arizona, and I don't know what we're gonna do with it. I think we may just put it together. You know, we need to put an engine cage on the back of it, but the rear clip's there for the arms. But we got a good deal on it, so it was definitely worth it. So we'll get this thing out to Arizona and get it down there to the shop and maybe put an engine cage on it, get it put back together. In the meantime, don't have much for project updates. The bug's still kind of just sitting. The 1835's in it and she runs, but I haven't had much time to go through those VW motors yet. My Chevelle also just kind of sitting, kind of a daily driver. I do have an LS swap for this thing, which is buried back here. Let's get back here. There's the 4L60E for the Chevelle, and then the motor for the Chevelle is right here. It's a 6.0 This is a VVT setup for LS, so it's got variable valve timing. We're going to delete all that, and we're going to go with a Texas Speed stick in there and give this thing some power. Should make about 500-ish, I would imagine, to the flywheel. I don't know what the conversion is through a 4L60 or 4L80, but we'll get her strapped down on the dyno, find out what she makes. So in the meantime, we're just going to continue on with getting this car prepped for race week. I did start some wiring on it. We're getting rid of all the toggle switches that were in the dash here. There used to be 4 toggle switches right here. We're going to replace it with this switch panel. And then we put in the switch for our turn signal. So if you want to go left, you hold that way. You want to go right, you hold it that way. We got our windshield frame obviously there. And then my windshield wiper came in. She's back here. So it's like a hand crank style. So this will go through the windshield frame, and then the windshield wiper attaches here. So then when you turn this, you got one wiper up there on the windshield. So we'll finish on getting her all street legal, race week legal. Got to put a horn in and a couple other things, but for the most part, she's going to be good to go. So you guys stick around while we get this thing back together. What we're going to do now is pull the motor back out, and we found some stuff to remove the rust off this cage. I just did a little spot right there, and it just pulled it right off. So we're going to pull the motor out, and we're going to do the whole back half of this thing. Because like I said earlier, we're going to get this thing painted up tomorrow and get it ready for the transaxle and everything to go back in. So that way the back end will finally match. It's been a couple years since we back halved it, and I didn't paint it. So yeah, again, we're going to put that treatment on there, get that rust off of there, and get this thing put back together. We got that treatment on the back of the chassis here, and look at that. That stuff is just eating that rust right off of there, which is really cool. Saves me a whole lot of sanding. So I'm gonna let that sit on there for about 20-30 minutes, and we'll back it out here and hose it off, and then we'll get into the hard to reach areas and stubborn areas and get that stuff on there and let it sit for a while longer. But this isn't a plug for Rust-Oleum, but this stuff really works. I thought I was going to have to be sanding on this thing for days, and it's really just knocking that stuff right off of there. So we'll get all this rust off of here, then we'll hit it with water, and then hit it with a Scotch-Brite, clean it all up, and prep it for paint tomorrow. All right, so we got this hosed off. You can see it's starting to flash rust already, but we're going to knock this down with a Scotch-Brite afterwards. We got a few spots to still hit. Some stubborn areas where the rust was kind of thick. But this stuff is really working. I'm really excited. I'm going to mask off the tail lights so I can hit these areas up here. But man, this saved me a lot of sanding. All right, here we go. We're going to start spraying that stuff back on. All right, guys, a little progress update. Hitting that with a Scotch-Brite pad on my grinder down there, and she's coming out all shiny. So she'll be ready for paint tomorrow. I still got to do that side. But yeah, it's working out good. Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back. So it is the next day. I did get this all prepped and ready for paint, and I got a coat of silver on it. It's not the best. I just rattle canned it, but it's just to keep the rust away. Eventually I am gonna have to take this whole car down and repaint it and powder coat it. It's had a lot of work done to it in the past. There's a mark here. I used to have a bar that went from up here to down here, and now it's hidden under the dash. I'm gonna redo the upper shock mounts and add bypasses to the front, so that's all gonna get redone. So eventually the car's gonna have to get broken down and repaint and powdered, but I just can't stand taking my car apart and not having it for the season. So I'll just rattle can it, get it ready, and we'll keep on moving forward. I think next year I'll tear this thing down and go through it. There's spots here, spots in the front where there used to be other gussets and brackets. My headlight brackets were here, and now they're part of the hood. So we're going to keep on moving forward. Hopefully we'll get the transmission back in today and get the engine back in, and we can get this thing ready for race week. We've got the car pushed back in, got the masking tape off, and got the transaxle set back in. Got the engine mounts painted. Yeah, this thing's coming along, coming together, and we're going to get the tranny bolted in, get the axles in, and then we'll get the motor set back in today. That's kind of my goal for the day. And then, yeah, we start moving forward, get this thing put together. So, got the motor put back in, and started putting the headers on. I got this one on that side. Realized that I had a broken header bolt right there. So I'm going to use a little tech tip somebody taught me to extract that. I mean, some of you guys may know how to do it, some of you don't. So if you have access to a welder, I drug out the old Miller-Matic, and I'm going to take this nut, I'm going to weld it to that stud right there, and then it should back right out. So what that does for you is obviously it gives you something to put a socket around to back it out, and then it also heats the area up, which makes it easy for the bolt to come out. So we're going to weld that again, weld that right there. We're going to weld it right down the center, and then we should be able to back that right out of there. All right, let's give it a try. Here we go. All right, guys, so we got the nut welded to the stud. I'm going to grab our impact gun here. See if we can't get that off of there. Make sure it's in reverse. And just like that, she's extracted. Pretty simple fix if you've got access to a welder. Now I can get all my exhaust bolts back in. Tech tip of the day. So we just about got this thing all wrapped up. Got the exhaust back on, engine's back in, everything's painted. Got all the wiring put back together, starters in, put the engine cowling on. I think we're going to paint this before race week. Paint it silver or wrap it or do something. But yeah, I just a couple tie wraps to add up and put on there. And then we should be able to fire this thing back up. We're going to make a new air intake for it too. Put the trunk wing back on. Get that cleaned up. But yeah, boys, she's ready. So we are race week bound. So I just got a call from a buddy of mine. He's having some issues with one of his cars. So we're going to jam on over there and have a look at his car, see what's going on with it. And we're going to take you guys with us. So stay tuned. What's up, guys, and welcome back. So today we're out here in Canyon Lake, and we're working on Project Caddy. I don't know if you guys have seen this on the channel yet. This is a 1960 Caddy that belongs to my boy Milton over there, and it's got an LS1 that we put in it I don't know, a couple years ago. But today we're just going to give this thing a little love. I put a trans cooler in it a while back, and I just hooked it up to the fan output. So we're going to plug into the Holly with our laptop. We're going to change the inputs and outputs so the trans cooler comes on with trans temp versus coolant temp. And then I'm going to take a look at the stereo too. Looks like they're almost got the center console done. There's a couple issues with the stereo. Got some booms back here, and then this thing has AccuAir in it too. We put that AccuAir in about a year ago. So we're going to take a look at that and we'll go from there. All right, so you guys stick around while we plug the laptop in and adjust this thing. Guys, so we got the laptop hooked up. Turns out that we're going to need to do a firmware on the Terminator X update. So we got the SD card out. We're going to go throw it in the other laptop and do a quick firmware upgrade before we fix these inputs and outputs. So we got the firmware updated, and we are going to get the laptop plugged back in after we load the calibration back on and get these inputs and outputs set up. All right, so we got the firmware updated. Got the little wiring issue fixed. Got the radio working again. We're going to take this thing for a little drive. See how she does. Got the caddy all dialed in, fans working like they should. So that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and do not forget to share, like, and subscribe this video, and make sure you smash that notification bell right up there, and that way you get a notification of when our new videos come out. Don't forget to drop a comment if you like what you're seeing. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.